You've been told that 70% of jobs are hidden, and that number gets repeated everywhere, and it's hurting your job search because it makes you think that the problem is access. It's not. Last year, my team booked 1,000 plus senior leadership interviews in United States for director, VP, C-level in tech, and every single one of them came from public job postings. So in this video, I'm going to do three things for you. One, show you where the 70% hidden jobs myth come from, and then explain to you why landing a leadership interviews feels so hard right now, even when roles are actively being posted. And three, give you a simple system that actually works. We call it an NDP framework, short for narrow, direct, and proof-led approach, because there are no hidden jobs, there are only unclear candidates. Let's first see why this hidden job market myth is so popular. Because when you're applying to so many roles but you're not landing any interviews, you start spiraling. You think to yourself like, hey, is the job market dead? Are these postings that I see, are all of these fake? Is every leader getting hired through referral only? And you start feeling invisible in the market, right? And then out of the blue, some career coach pops up with a comforting explanation like, hey, don't worry, these real jobs are actually hidden. You just need access to them, right? And that story is appealing because it shifts the blame away from the process and the positioning and the actual boring work that you have to do, and it creates a business model for them because people sell you these networks, these introductions, these secret groups and paid communities. These are things that you can't measure or verify because only thing that you are concerned with is landing a job, but they never talk about that. Because here's an example. We had a client called Manoj, right? He spent 8 grand on a paid network of CIOs and CTOs in the United States. He tried for almost a year, 0 interviews. And he started with us in September of 2025. By December, he had landed an SVP of engineering job. Not because we found him any hidden roles, but because we fixed what actually drives those interviews. So where does this 70% number come from then? Because there's no credible study that proves 70% of jobs are hidden. And think about it logically, how can there be, right? Because if the jobs are hidden, then how would anyone measure them? You could claim that that number is 70%, 90%, 99%. It's basically unprovable, and that is the point. In reality, yes, some roles are not posted, but it's a small minority. From what we have seen after talking to hundreds of recruiters, it's more like 1 to 2% in the leadership world. It happens, but it's far less significant of a number. And these hidden cases are usually the ones where the hiring manager knows the precise person for the job, right? Or a truly covert search is ongoing, like they are trying to replace the CISO for a Fortune 500 company, or where the company wants to replace a key leader without them or their investors knowing or stakeholders knowing that like, hey, we want to make this change. But in general, for US-based managers, directors, and VPs in tech, and almost every role that you'd actually want is posted somewhere. It could be LinkedIn, it's a company website, or a job board, right? Now, let me show you how hiring really happens. A hiring manager, which would be the key leader, they would get the headcount approved. They would loop in recruiting. They share the role internally. Then it is posted publicly on LinkedIn, company website, job boards, right? Then recruiters start screening the inbound candidates. Why? Because if you want strong candidates, then you want a big pool. So that's why you do not hide the role. You broadcast it. Hiding will be super inefficient. It's risky, and thus it is rare. Even after a role is posted, however, recruiters and hiring managers will still look for people who haven't applied just to broaden their pool. If a role actually exists on a job board, then that's not noise. That's a clear signal that hiring is real and active. Now, you would say, why is landing interviews so hard still then? That is the real issue. If most of the roles are public, why are you not getting any interviews? There's 2 reasons for that. One, the general trend is that the pyramid gets tighter as you go up to the top. There are far fewer leadership seats. There's more competition. Even in good job markets, that's just math. Because there will be 1 VP, there will be under that VP, there will be only 3 directors, there will be 7 to 8 managers, and like done 70 to 80 individual contributors. So as you can see, the organization kind of like has this pyramid shape. So yes, there will be more experienced people, more number of people chasing fewer roles towards the top. So that is what's driving up the competition. Now from there, number two, companies are also extremely picky at the top because leadership decisions are expensive. One wrong hire can burn a year. It will kill the momentum of the entire organization. It will waste millions, sometimes even billions of decisions hinge upon those, right? And it will damage the morale for the entire organization. At this level, they're not looking for smart and people with high potential. They want certainty. They want somebody who has done it in their industry, at their scale, handle their level of complexities, and they have receipts to prove it. They want proven experience. And that's the part no one tells you, that like, hey, when you go on LinkedIn and you see, oh, thousands of people have already applied, hundreds of applicants are already there, most of those people are irrelevant. Granted, most of those people will not even make it into the cut. And so the problem isn't a hidden market. However, those many people, they are enough to drown you out in the noise. And in that, when most tech leaders approach the market and they market themselves something like, hey, I'm a tech leader who solves business problems with technology, then you use super vague language, right? Cool. So is everyone else. And those thousands of applicants, they're also saying the same thing. So nothing's making you stand out. Now, having said that, let me show you the boring system that actually works, the NDP method. This is what we use to get our tech leader clients, director, VP level folks, get interviews consistently. NDP, like I said, stands for narrow, direct, and proof-led. So first part is the narrow. Being narrow, it comes in your positioning. So you must get brutally specific about what you want to do and who you are for. You're not a director of engineering, you're not a data leader, you're not a tech leader, you are somebody specific. Like, hey, I lead data engineering for large regulated healthcare organization, where the primary job was to integrate patient data across multiple EMR systems, building a HIPAA compliant cloud platform. So now that is a specific tech leader, right? And here's why it matters. So if a hospital network is hiring a director of data engineering to unify patient data across the EMRs, and they're looking for somebody who's already worked in the HL7, like FHIR compliance systems, or they have operated in HIPAA compliance, right? And they have shipped analytics in a sensitive clinical setting, right? And then let's just say you and your background is in ad tech clickstream data, then you are not any less qualified, you are just not relevant to their use case. You're not a bad data engineering leader, you're just not relevant. And if you position yourself as vaguely as like, oh, I'm this data engineering leader, then neither side will pick you. Not healthcare, not ad tech. So step one is to decide your lane. Pick a lane, move with it, like, hey, this is who I'm for. Make it easy for the right companies to say, yes, this is our person. Now, second is the direct pillar, right? Reach directly to the hiring manager. So after you narrow down, stop playing telephone through job boards. Your goal is to contact the person who can actually say yes. That is going to be the hiring manager. Why? Because hiring manager will understand what their real problem is, what mess their organization is in. They are actively feeling the pain, right? And so then they have an appreciation for like, hey, what does this fit look like? And what kind of outcomes or what kind of person I want to see, who I can see leading this role. So where recruiters' job is to filter, it's hiring manager's job to decide, and you want to get fast and quickly to the decision maker. And third is the proof pillar, right? So you want to show relevance, and that too fast. So when you reach out, don't introduce yourself and don't ask for a chat. You do two things. One, you name their problem, you label their problem, right? So like, hey, I see you guys are looking to do XYZ, so that they feel like, hey, yes, this person gets it. And two, you prove that you have solved it in a similar setting, in the same industry, at the same scale, at the similar level of complexity. That's it. Most outreaches fail because it's generic. But if you send a message that screams like, oh, I understand your exact situation and I've done this before, then you cut through the noise, right? And yes, this only works when you are actually a fit, of course, right? Which brings us to the final truth. If you're not relevant for that role, no amount of referrals, communities, or secret networks will save you. Because at leadership level, hiring is not charity, it's risk management. So if you have been chasing hidden jobs, here's what to do instead. Run this NDP framework, narrow your positioning, go directly to the hiring manager and lead with proof. That's how public jobs turn into private conversations, and that's how you get interviews without begging for referrals. If you want help applying NDP to your exact background, subscribe, and I make more videos breaking down examples and templates. Follow for more, and all the best.